Hello friends, welcome to Technical RP. This video we are going to talk about Power Automate interview questions regarding to Power Automate desktop and Power Automate flow. So the first question is, what are the four key products under the Power Platform? So Power Platform, which is having Microsoft, ha has four key products like Power BI, Business Intelligence, and Power Apps. Here, if you want to create app, so you can go with Power Apps Flow. So how it looks like if you go there, if you are going with flow.microsoft.com, if you go the URL flow.microsoft.com, so it will ask your Hotmail account so that you can create Hotmail account and you can easily come up with a flow. This is the flow which will help to create Power Apps and Power Automate and Power Virtual Agents. So Power BI is somewhat different, that business intelligence tool. So here you have Power Apps and Power Automate. These two products you can get it through flow.microsoft.com. This is the cloud version of the Power Automate. So here you can automate your desktop as well as your web, as well as here other options are also there, AI builder, that I will update you later. So this is the four things. So what is virtual agents? So virtual agents help us to automate the things which is having virtual environment, maybe the virtual desktop or virtual environment, maybe the Citrix kind of environments. So what are all the four value pillars of Power Automate? So Power Automate at scale, and it will be secure integration. The OS created by Microsoft, so that will be secure integration, acceleration productivity, and intelligent automation. So these are all the four key value pillars of Power Automate. So when we talk about Power Automate, there is two things. This is the flow which we can automate apps as well as AI builder, which means artificial intelligence related automation. So all the things you can automate here. Here you have one more option is there, Power Automate Desktop. So if you go here, so what would you like to automate? So if you go to the flow, this is the main page of the flows, cloud flows of the Microsoft Power Automate. So what you mean by flow? Flow is nothing but that this is the kind of cloud studio like a Blue Prism Studio version or UiPath Studio version. The same scenario here. If you go to the Automation Anywhere 360 version, A360 or 2019 version, you can get everything in cloud. You have to develop in cloud. You have to deploy everything is in the same thing in Power Automate. So here all the things are in cloud flows. So there is, so what is the key difference between Power Automate and Power Automate for desktop? Power Automate is used mainly for the API automation of the cloud services and internal API services, otherwise known as digital process automation. So here you can see this is the Power Automate. This is the area which I shown you Power Automate. So here you can create digital flows as mentioned here. You can create API services, cloud services, and digital services. So business process flow you can create. So here some of the areas we can't access because some of the if you want to create business process flow or some of the flows, you should have the license, proper license, which means premium license is required. But cloud flows you can easily create, and desktop flows you can create. So, so what is desktop flow? So when you automate the desktop related applications, for example, your SAP, you want to automate your SAP, or else you want to automate your Windows based one of the applications, or you want to automate the Excel, or you want to automate the Word, or you want to automate the PDF. These kind of all the desktop automations, you should download Power when you click Launch App or else install the Power Automate desktop versions will be get from the Flow Edition. So this desktop version you can download it and you can create a new flow as you needed in order to develop your desktop applications or else automate your desktop applications. So this is the Power Automate desktop. So here the key difference is Power Automate is all the cloud services. If you see that your all the cloud flows, maybe the cloud flow which is having one node, if you see right. So this is the sum of the APIs. All the APIs you can get it. So like a OneNote or Planner task, or else if you want to schedule reply, or else you want to integrate with Twitter, or you want to post some values into the Facebook, or else share it, share drive. So all the things, all the APIs, or else if you want to take it up a weather forecasting. So these all the things you can get it through Cloud Flows. This is the Power Automate. So suppose I'm clicking save a message to OneNote. So what we'll need to do? Suppose here you are saying I have a message at Microsoft Teams. I have Teams in my local. I have some message. I want to store all the values from Teams, which is having team chart, update into the OneNote. So that here, what is the three parameters I need to flow? I need to get the flow will be connected Microsoft Teams, OneNote, and Office 365. So these is the three things I need. Once I sign in these three things, when I click continue, it will take it Teams values and update into the OneNote through the backend API flows. So this is the major thing. For example, I want to update this thing through that I want to update from Facebook to my Excel page, or else from my Excel page to I want to post some values into the my Facebook. So I have to log in into the Facebook's login. I have to update into the Excel values here so that I can when I click continue, it automatically connect and it will update the values. So this is the way we can complete all of our API automation tasks through cloud services. So this is called as digital process automation. But the Power Automate desktop which I shown you here, this is simply for automating if you see right. If you automate through Excel database or else your Outlook or else text, so these all the things are coming under the Power Automate desktop. So which is UI automation of legacy web, Windows and terminal applications, also commonly referred to as RPA. So here what is environment? So environment is nothing but that it will store. So everyone knows what is environment. So environment is nothing but that it is a space to store, manage and share your organization business data. So also it will serve as a container to separate apps that might have different roles, security, requirement or target. For example, you can have the separate environment for development, UAT and production. For so we everyone knows the environment. Development is separate environment. So the same thing Power Automate I'm developing or else I'm automating here is it is my development environment. Once I completed my code, I have to publish the code and move the package into the QA environment. So once it is done, I will move to production environment. So environment has to be changed based on the requirement. So what is a solution? Solution is nothing but that un there is two things of solution is available, managed and unmanaged. So all about solution represents it is a package for all the different components that your business problem needs to be solved with. Solution, so suppose I have some issues or I have some challenges, I need some solution that if I found out some solutions, the solution has a package that problem needs to be solved. So we all know there is some issues in production environment or else production web applications, Windows applications. There is some solution is needed. The solution is contains all the solvation of the risk and issues. So what are the different types of flow in Power Automate? So as I shown you, here you can see cloud flow, desktop flow, and business process flow. So here the question is, what are the different types of flow? There is three different types of flows: cloud, desktop, and business process flow. So here I can show you my flows. If you go to my flows, cloud flow, desktop flow, and business process flow. This is nothing but that whatever shared with me, it is coming into so some, for example, this is a shared environment. So some other developers are working the same environment. What they shared with me, that flows I can access and I can modify that. But basically, there is three flows: cloud flow, desktop flow, and business process flow. So what is cloud flow? Cloud flows are used when you want your automation to be triggered either automatically, instantly, or via the schedule. Here, the cloud flows maybe work automatically, instantly, or schedule. So you have to make it three ways. Suppose I want to save a message to OneNote from Excel message to OneNote. This maybe you can schedule, or this maybe you can run it uh, ad hoc request, or this maybe you can run it automatically at every 1 hour with a un unscheduled option. So scheduled option, unscheduled automatically or instantly. So everything or else ad hoc request which you can run. So what is desktop flows? With Power Automate, so you know very well this is the desktop flow. So where I created as a flow. So desktop flow, you can create desktop flows to automate tasks on web or the desktop. So usually this desktop flow maximum we are using in Windows, but in some areas you can use web as well. I- In the meantime, even you can use cloud flows as well for some of the web environment. So here the desktop flow can integrate or else can automate both web or the desktop. So, what is business process flow? Business process flow provides a guide for people to work done by defining set of steps for people to follow to take them to a desired outcome. This business process flow specially required for the citizen developers or citizen business users, so that it's separate licenses, citizen licenses are available to take it, and without coding knowledge, no code, low code option, they can get the report, or else they can get some changes. They can modify some change, everything they can do based on some of the business process flow. So, what are the three building blocks of a cloud flow? So, in cloud flow, you can see this is the cloud flow. This cloud flow, you can see three options: trigger, action, and conditions. Suppose I'm creating, so I'm creating scheduler reply. So if I want to schedule the reply from Microsoft Teams to Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Teams, as I want to reply to whom. So in that case, a trigger is needed. So where the event starts, or the event starts in the Cloudflow action. So when a trigger is invoked, the finally condition. So what is the condition when it has to trigger? Based on predetermined logical sets in the flow. It is already predefined. So just we can log in and we can run on it, or we can schedule a value to reply the message to later time as well. Is Power Automate compatible with Windows 10 Home? Yes, you can use Power Automate to create your desktop flows and monitor them on the Power Automate web portal. However, you cannot trigger desktop flows to run from the cloud on the Windows 10 Home devices. In addition, other types of desktop flows are not supported. Suppose you are created some flow, desktop flow, and you are running on it. For example, I'm creating some flow. For example, I'm creating like empty recycle pen. So I'm just saving it. Just running it. I don't need to go and run from flow of the cloud. So I can run it locally, and I can take the build. So once I get the build, I can run it in online, like a cloud version as well. So what is the difference between Power Automate console and Power Automate Flow Designer? So there is two things. So Power Automate console and Power Automate Flow Designer. Here you can see. So this is the one Power Automate console and Power Automate. Here you have to design your flow, how the things to be happen. For example, I'm taking the new workstation. I'm just recycling the pin. Once it is done, I creating some folder. If folder exists, I'm just doing. I'm just creating folder path. For example, str value. Some values of folder path I given. If folder exists, it should not create. If folder does not exist, it will create the folder. So these kind of flows I'm creating on it. These flows will be the flow designer. This flow designer specifically created for this flow designers specifically created for design, edit, and debug a desktop flow. Or else you can we can tell very easily. To develop the platform which is having the Power Automate is a flow designer. Here you can create variables, UI elements, or else desktop variables of flow. So everything you can assign here. But flow console is nothing but that it is a central interface. That's all. So the name all the pans contained inside Power Automate console. When you see that Power Automate console, so workspace, action, variable, UI elements span, images span, and error span. So I'm going to console. I'm just saving. Here you can see my console have many actions. Here you can see errors, variables, UI elements, you have workflow designer, and you have subflows. So everything it includes in your desktop version of the Power Automate. So this is the workspaces including main and subflow. So this is the main flow. For example, I'm creating if folder does not exist, if folder exists, I'm deleting the folder. So so this is the thing I'm creating in main flow. But so what it is subflow? I'm creating some flows in the main area and I'm calling, so I'm creating some additional flow or else subtask. For example, we have some master task and a subtask. And once we created the master task, or else once we created our subtask, we have to integrate with master task. The same way, here flow the flow as well, main and subflow. We can create a subflow and we can call it in main flow. So this is the way we can see. Actually, this is the workspace. So what is the action pan? So these are all the things here you can see what is the actions I am doing on it. For example, variable operations or compression or UI automation. These all the actions are coming under the action pan. So what is the third thing is variable pan. If you see that I have some variables. Suppose I'm creating one variable. I'm creating one input variable. The input variable is str input value 1. So I'm creating the variable name. I'm giving some data type as string or other types. I'm giving default value yes, and I'm giving external name. I don't want to give the say external name. I want to put it at the same name as a. And finally, what is the description to or get the value? I want to get value. So that's all I'm creating. So it's not a sensitive. So I'm creating a new variable. This variable is simply, so here you can see this is the simply input variable. So when I create variable as well, I have to tell whether it is input or output. So this is the variable pan which is available here. Also UI elements span, images span, and error span. Here you can see we already saw that. Here UI elements span, images span, error span, everything will be available. This UI elements is nothing but that. So suppose we have some screen, we have to capture some UI elements. So for example, I have something. I want to capture something. So that time this UI element will come into the picture. So this add UI element which will call and add new elements. These are the application objects that can be associated with web or Windows application which is interacted with the values. So images when how the images can be captured and errors when how the errors can be captured. So these are all the things which which is very important in Power Automate. Power Automate now moving to number one position in the world of automation. In so why it is moving to the number one? If you can see that, so they are creating artificial intelligent builders. Even though Automation Anywhere has AI sense recorder, this AI sense recorder is behave like a image capture. It will capture as a image and it will identify the values. That also not 100 percentage it will work as sure for some of the applications, which is, for example, some of the applications which is changing IDs and path. So that kind of areas it will not work. But here AI Builder is completely work out. Here they added some of the tasks, how the AI Builder looks like, how the models so based on the models it will get it and it will capture or update the data. So this Power Automate is coming as a number one process, number one automation tool in the world of the automation, so that this would be useful for you in future. In nowadays corporate people's corporate companies are started to take the Power Automate because Power Automate comes as a package, and there is no need for us of no not much to spend as a development cost. The developers can easily develop once development is completed, and they can move to the UAT or production. That time they can spend some licenses or get some licenses for that. Thank you guys. In the next video, I will update you some of the new questions as well as I will explain you the new things. Thank you so much.